Thank you for bringing it.
Oh, great, thank you. There's no public hearing, and there's no old items of discussion or new on our agenda. Are there any public comments? I may as well hit the department heads at the same time. Okay, hearing none. Any project updates from the commissioners?
I have one, just a second.
Okay.
Wow. Close.
Voter turnout?
Lou Barletta.
Oh. What was the total?
1429 to 1456.
Wow.
That's incredible.
Overall, the turnout was what, 17%? Which is low even
I have no
for...
idea. It was low all over.
The only thing I wanted to share, we're going to be putting out a press release today. Thursday night is the Mental Health Symposium, which is the close of May, being Mental Health Awareness Month. We're having an event from 6 to 8 p.m. at the Warren Public Library. There's going to be presentations and then there's going to be different displays from vendors, and then also we're going to be collecting all of the trees that were, posters of all the trees that were put together by a school district and several businesses around town. I'm really looking forward to it because the work that the schools did was really neat. They put these, actually I should probably try to put them on the board or on the monitor, but most all of the schools contributed, and they did a really fascinating job because there were no real rules to it, and so they're all totally different, and the kids wrote a lot of like interesting stuff on the leaves, which are in most cases like little hands that they did. So I'm gonna hit this word.
Well, Commissioner Eggleston's pulling that up. Josh, I just wanted to let you know what we're signing is the affidavit for the election.
State certification.
That's neat.
Different program. Should be able to page through this. Try this. Okay. So I think this one was in Beacon Light. And then some of these are Forest County schools too. That one's a person. I think that's good. And then I think it's a little hard to see because it's so distant. But people wrote like really interesting things on some of these. I thought this was kind of neat. They did puzzle pieces for, which is autism related. Third tree. These guys did one outside. It's kind of weird. Oh yeah, and then some of them actually wrote stories, wrote essays that they included in them. Hopefully we'll get to see some of those. There's a nice little tree. They used a real tree and then put it on it. Let's see here. What's this one? And then just put the leaves on. These are a picture of a tree. That's a pretty good one. We enjoy doing things that are good for our brains and bodies. That's okay. Be kind, be happy. Gotta keep your head up. You are kind, happy, mental health, strong, positive, peaceful, energetic, motivated, and important. That's nice. I like the sound of that. Like this one over here, I'm not alone, never give up.
So is this the national initiative, or did your local committee have this idea?
No, we just did it. This is just a local thing that we did, and we were kind of curious as to how it was going to turn out. And I think that the goal is going to be to try to do this every year, like to do something along these lines.
Cool.
We would have liked to have had more. We had this like essay contest and poster contest, and we had a few different groups that did it, but there wasn't enough time to promote it, I think, with the school district. And with the kids, you have to have a lot of lead time and do a lot of promotion to get them on board with it. So, but anyway, we're gonna make posters out of all of these, and then we're gonna be collecting them and then putting them on a display in the Slater room. And then we've got a couple of really good speakers that are going to come and talk about mental health recovery and all that kind of stuff.
Was that the 31st?
Yeah, it's Thursday from 6 to 8 in the Slater room.
Good. Anything else?
I think that's it for now.
Commissioner Morrison?
Nothing.
The only thing for me would be that the financing that Motorola provided us with at the meeting the other day, it was tabled and it expires, is it this week or next week?
June 1st.
June 1st, so that's
Like
Friday.
He was going to get back to us about extending that.
Yeah, well, he hasn't as of, I don't have my phone, but,
I think it was June 4th. So yeah,
so next
either
month.
Friday or Monday.
Yeah. Either way, it's before our next public meeting.
Mm-hmm.
So we may need to schedule another meeting.
Yeah, I mean, my
Unless they
perspective
can't
on it was they had already pushed it back. My assumption is it's their credit company. They should be able to give us another 2 weeks.
Hopefully.
I mean,
But they're now down around the same rate that the USDA was talking, so I don't know how much they can wiggle.
well, I think my understanding of it was that their agreement is what it is in order to get this thing moving, and that we're going to be able to look into other agreements in order to get a lower rate.
Right, and yes, that is true, which is why I don't have a problem with just agreeing to it now, because and to answer your question, there is no
fees.
no cancellation fee. They don't really care when it's paid off. So if we can get financing through the USDA or a local bank or something like that, that's better. We should do that, but it shouldn't be a holdup for approving the contract now, because the first payment is not due until September of 2019. So we have over a year to figure out the financing.
Motorola's just not as generous as the county. They're charging us interest. We give interest-free loans.
Well, they're not giving us $100,000 though either.
Just teed that up for you, didn't I?
You did. Perfect.
If they give us $100,000,
Yeah, if they give us a $100,000 grant. So anyway, I guess if they don't get back to us with an extended deadline, I'm going to ask that we have a special meeting to discuss it. I guess if you're right that it was the 4th, then we could talk about it at the work session, but we would need to vote on it.
yeah, I just keep pressuring them to extend that deadline. They should be able to extend it.
Okay.
Like, I just want to avoid it. I don't want to have to do a special meeting just to do that.
Right.
Like, we're working with them on a multi-million-dollar deal. They're getting, a good project right out of the gate for them. They can wait 2 weeks.
Well, you would think that they could give it to us interest-free. They're making a lot of money.
Yeah.
Let's push for that.
I don't think that's realistic.
And I don't know that anybody's going to give anybody over.
Well, we did.
We're not a business.
And we weren't expecting, they're not
That's
expecting to get the money
reasonable,
back either. Like,
All right, the meeting agenda, there's nothing to talk about today. So the meeting's for another 2 weeks, correct? I think it's, we don't have a meeting next week, it's the following week.
Why would we not have a work session? Oh, you mean commissioners meeting? I'm sorry, yes, the 13th.
Right, so that's, we probably won't even have to talk about the agenda next week either. I already asked about department and committee updates, but, okay. I will not be able to come to your mental health symposium, so I'm going down to the AHUG, the hardware utilization meeting. Any schedule updates for the other two? Okay. No cause for executive session, right? Anything else for the good of the order?
I'll be out of the office Thursday and Friday, and I made contact with the Warren County Fair Board because I'd never received my application, and they told me that they've started something new this year. They sent them out a month ago, and they're supposed to be in the first. I've asked them for an extension because there's no way I'm going to have a certificate of liability
By
before
Friday.
the 1st of June.
Right. Okay.
Just in case they should happen to contact you.
Yep. Okay. I guess we'll adjourn.